If you love the barbell long enough, it will lead you to all your best friends. It will lead you to a life of strength. And if you're very lucky, it will lead you to the birthplace of the greatest barbells in the world, in Halmstad, Sweden, home of Eleiko Barbell. Barbell Shrugged, Ryan Fischer, Coach Travis Mash, and families all embarked on the most epic journey to go find out why Eleiko Sport is known as the greatest barbell in the world, home of thousands of world records, the best raw materials, the best innovation, and the best people to take barbell sports and their love for strength to the next level. And this is their story.
Yo, we're at Eleiko in Sweden. We're gonna go make the greatest barbells that exist on this planet inside their brand new sports center. Right on. Hey team, we traveled all the way from the United States. We're at the Eleiko headquarters here in Halmstad, Sweden. This is Joachim. I didn't say that right. Joachim.
Yes.
We're gonna get it right. I got it right the first time. Ryan Fish, Travis Mash, and then my main man Doug Larson over here. We are gonna take a big tour through the office, find out how the best barbells in the world are made. We're gonna make our own barbells.
Yeah.
It is the best bar in the world. We're gonna make 4 of the best barbells in the world. But before we do that, we gotta load up on Fika. You don't have to Google that. That stands for coffee out here. And we're gonna eat some waffles. Let's make some of these things.
Let's go make some
Let's do
waffles.
it.
All right, I'm gonna put you guys to work straight away.
So what's special about these waffles?
Swedish waffles are a thing. There's actually a Swedish waffle day in Sweden where people binge up on Swedish waffles. And the reason why the waffle iron and the waffle is especially special for Eleiko is that we started as a small electrical appliances company, and we made a lot of waffle irons. So if you look out, you can still find Eleiko waffle irons.
This is back like in the 50s?
Yeah, exactly. And when we made our first weightlifting bar, we actually got inspired by the waffle iron pattern for our knurling. So that's the connection between waffles and our bars. Wow. And that's why we need to start with
So cool.
This pattern.
The Eleiko waffle maker.
Yeah, this is not one, but
I
I can find one. So I have one in my office.
It's very similar to the original.
Yeah, it is.
Literally
Yeah.
knurling, huh?
Yeah, I was super fortunate growing up where I was with the strength coach that I had from like 14 to 18, like my whole high school career. We had all Eleiko bars. And like he said that he bought Eleiko bars because he wanted to make sure that no matter what happened, like you could never blame the equipment. You could never say like, oh, I missed that lift because that barbell sucks. He wanted to always be able to blame himself because all the equipment was only the best in the world. So all he had was Eleiko bars.
Yeah.
So that was like my very first impression of Eleiko was that it was just the best
Yeah.
from day one.
Just call it carb loading, and then you're fine.
And then right into barbell.
And then right into barbell.
Into barbell.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Miles.
Oh, dude, all the time. If I'm peeing and I hear someone walk in, I'm just like, did you get it? Can I finish midstream?
Dude, we're about to head into the super secret room. We can't even take the cameras in there, but we're gonna go build. Travis Max is building his own powerlifting bar, Olympic weightlifting bar, weightlifting bar.
All right, so we'll start the tour here at the world's most famous bar. This is not a full collection, but a pretty decent overview of the different bars that we make. And as you guys know, we build both powerlifting and weightlifting bars for male and female competitors, athletes, and people training. And the 4 points I want to talk to you about today are the steel, the knurling, the rotation, and all of the testing that we do to ensure that we produce the world's most famous bar. As you can already see, we built bars with different types of knurling. And that's very dependent on the type of lifting that's being done on them. So you can imagine that if you want to do a world record snatch, you want to have a slightly more aggressive knurl than if you're doing a CrossFit workout with one of our XF bars. And what also is important to note is that all of our bars are being produced with our 3 partners in mind as well. So we are certified by the IWF, the IPF, and the WPPO, which is the World Powerlifting Organization that we work very closely with as well. They actually have their own specifications when it comes to their bench bar, and we build specific products like a podium and weights for them as well. I'll show you guys that later when we get into the weightlifting area. But for now, we'll get into production. Yeah. So I'm gonna ask you guys to put one of these on, so you're extra visible, extra official.
This is the super.
And boom. So please stay with me. We'll start over here. When we interview gym owners and we ask them what is your biggest pain when it comes to dumbbells, full stop. It's reliability. Yeah. They break down, you need to tighten them again.
You're always afraid they're going to fall and like hit.
Yes. So for instance, this specific rubber compound or this compound, we went to many different iterations. We had one test dumbbell that we dropped, it was 5 times from 5 meters, and then 50 times from overhead, which was what I was doing in a lunch break. And then we had to drop 500,000 times from here when you finish a set on a bench. We used the same dumbbell, and after all of that, and after that I trained with it again, no problem. Just a few scruff marks.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, let's go.
We have two staff on point, and as you can see, each bar is assembled by hand. We make sure that we finish up all the bars. We weigh each and every single component to make sure that it is within the weight tolerances that we strive for. Then we pack.
Sorry, what are the weight tolerances? If it's a 20 kilo bar.
Susanna, you know this better than I do.
So if it says a 20 kilo bar, what's like the high and low for what's
20,
accepted?
Put 20 up and 10 down, but we never down. We are maybe sort of 5, 6, 7 up.
Grams.
Grams?
Grams.
Oh, grams, yeah. No, not kilos. We have.
Not kilos.
Yeah.
Do you want to make a bar?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
We came all the way from
You
the United
can,
States
you
to
really
hang out.
What if I want to buy a pound?
Just need a little help. There we go. I'm so scared right now. Nice.
One last thing we need to note is that each and every bar that we make here gets a serial number. So we will always be able, like once you have a bar out in the field and we need to track it for some reason, and we need to know which batch it was made from.
Every bar has its own name, basically.
Yeah, yeah. So we can source, we can basically trace back the bar all the way up to the steel mill. How are you? Are you a little jet lagged? What are you eating? What? Yeah, that's Papa. Look, making a bar. Yeah, making a bar. Yeah.
How did you learn all this? Like, how do you know, as a marketing, they teach you all this stuff? Like, you know so much about the history and like the bars.
Yeah, I mean, we designed the tour.
Okay.
To give specific talking points like, hey, what's our history, where do we come from, and because it adds to people's understanding why we do things certain ways.
And why it costs so much.
Yeah.
Now I totally get it.
Yeah.
I mean, I always did because.
Yeah, but I mean, and it's also important for us to explain to people, like, yeah, you have to have a certain mindset to buy our equipment.
Yeah.
So, you know, we would not necessarily go into like flashy customization, or we just want to build the best version of a thing there is. So now with the new dumbbells, like we want to be certain that we build the best dumbbell that's out there.
Yeah, there's no way to top.
No, but you know, that's not necessarily super flashy or sexy, but there's always an appeal for athletes or coaches who are like, I just want to have the best stuff.
I used to work with Muscle Driver.
Yeah.
USA. You know, I was a coach. I wasn't,
Yeah.
but I can already see a huge difference.
Yeah.
In your product versus
Yeah.
what they make.
Well, I have a gym back home, and I bought only Eleiko equipment, and we've been running weightlifting, powerlifting, and CrossFit classes now for 5 years straight, and like everything functions as it did on day one.
Yeah.
So that's a huge peace of mind for me.
We did not have near as good of it wasn't the exact same bar every time.
Yeah.
There was a lot of like preset bars that were just
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
quality. And it's impossible. You guys are always just saying that quality. It's gonna be
Yeah.
the same quality bar.
Yeah, yeah, and consistency in performance.
It's huge.
I mean, because that's ultimately, you know, every bar should feel the same if it's the same type of bar. Because if it doesn't, it's a huge, like on competition day when you're ready to do like a super heavy bench press and your bar just feels 1% off, you'll be able to feel it.
Yeah.
Because you've had so many training hours under a bar.
Yeah.
It's just it doesn't work.
We would, because we gave all of our athletes, you know, it was a professional weightlifting team in America.
Yeah.
And like all the athletes had a bar, and the bars were all different. And it was obvious.
Yeah,
And some people's bars were better than others.
yeah,
That would
yeah.
never happen here. It'd be
No.
like that.
no.
Which is why our bars are.
Yeah. Workings of the sleeves, like the way our sleeves are constructed, have not been copied yet. I mean, you can take a sleeve apart and try to rebuild it, but I mean, it's a combination of the steel, the sleeve, and all of the testing that we do to ensure that it's just like it's we're on the top of the game, so to speak.
And like,
We can do a small sticker. We're not hired.
No, but you did make your own bar.
The worst barbells come out of Eleiko. Squeeze it.
Yeah.
We did it. Success?
Look at that. She knows how to do this.
Suzanne,
Killing it. That's why she's on the world stage.
coming in hot.
So one thing, Travis is already on there, so he can't wait. So I'll actually start here. You can see 3 images here, right? And I already mentioned powerlifting, weightlifting, and powerlifting. They represent our 3 partners. That's actually Angelica. She works in finance and is a world level weightlifter. So she's also an Eleiko employee. These are the competition setups. So whenever you're watching a world state competition, this is the setup that you'll see. I specifically mentioned the IPF product, which is new. This got premiered this year at Worlds in Sweden, and it's pretty interesting when you talk to engineers and you look at our old like powerlifting setup, the bench and squat rack. You know, it worked pretty well. So I asked them like, how do you guys go and get something that's good, even better? And they actually gave me a list of 80 points that they improved. And it's things like these handles, and it's things like this finish, which now also has a knurling pattern, so you have a better grip for your upper back when benching.
We were talking about the leather was it in here and the other, where do you guys source the leather from? And
Yeah, so this is
stuff.
actually not leather. This is actually a complete mold. So instead of having foam and then gluing or tacking something on there, this is one solid piece. And that's also a new type of upholstery that we made, which basically lasts lots and lots longer than normal upholstery.
Every leather bench
Cracks, yeah, and this won't.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
so
You ever
we.
been here before? Look at this guy. Careful.
Oh my god, that just looks terrifyingly strong.
First time.
Can you just say this intro, this will be a voiceover for that live shot, what this gym is?
Yeah. So now we're at our free weight area in the gym, and this is also where we represent our partners. We have the IPF, the IWF, and the WPPO, and their respective competition setups.
Thanks.
Yeah. So this is obviously where you guys need to train.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys this. And then to your point, Ryan, on making noise, I just want to show you guys the SVR platform.
This raised one?
Yeah. So one of the, I already mentioned this to Doug before, but one of the things that is within our mission is to get as many people as possible into lifting. The up and deadlift bar being an example of literally opening up the possibilities of lifting, but a lot of gyms who consider even deadlifts or things that need to be dropped overhead is noise and vibration. And getting complaints from customers or neighbors. And that's why we developed the SVR platform, which basically eliminates most of the noise and vibration that you hear when you drop a bar.
I could have used that. I got evicted 3 times.
Yeah.
Me
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Me too.
We've had several customers who were able to actually sign a lease when they demoed the platforms at their gym.
You're gonna save me so many heartaches.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is expensive, yeah?
It doesn't come cheap, no.
Yeah.
But it lasts.
Like the difference between this versus like that.
Staying in business.
That's a good question. I need to check. I don't know what the difference is. Yeah.
Well, this is a lot. I mean, just the height would save the floors, like
Yeah, it will say, and we now have this.
All the time.
We just this month released a deadlift version of this, which is half the size, because a lot of gyms just use this for deadlifts, and then the footprint is half the size. This is like weightlifting full stop, but for heavy deadlifts, we just made a version that's half the size. Yeah, and we have them in inserts now as well, so that's also an SVR insert, so same technology. Yeah. Yeah.
own everything.
So
This is probably a flooring that has a little bit of air in it. Yeah, so
No.
it's not totally solid.
no, it's a
Like an acoustic lamination or something?
yeah, it's a proprietary foam that we developed, and that's the hard part here, because you can dampen noise and vibration, but then your bar bounces back to the ceiling. So it was really to find a right balance in eliminating noise and vibration, but also making sure that the bar doesn't bounce too much. And that's what we try to perfect. And that's also the only part that will wear out. So that foam is designed to wear out after a couple of years, but then you can just replace it with a new pad. This rubber will last forever. It's the highest grade rubber that we could source, and the same for the wooden deck. Like the only thing you should not do on here is like kettlebell work and then scraping the deck. But we have also that finish, and then you can do whatever you want on it. So you can choose the type of finish you want.
Hey friends, Doug here. I feel phenomenally lucky to be able to spend time at Eleiko. Make the nicest barbells in the world. I've been very fortunate my entire life to have lifted on Eleiko barbells, starting when I started Olympic weightlifting back when I was about 14 years old. Always had access to Eleiko bars, and I was always told that we had Eleiko bars because they were the best, and we were using them that way. We could never blame the equipment. If we missed the lift, it was our own doing, and we only had ourselves to blame. So we always made sure we had the best bars available, and Eleiko bars are those bars. So I feel very fortunate these days to be able to be friendly with Rickard and Eric, the brothers that run Eleiko. They've been phenomenally good to us over the years. To be able to go to Sweden and make our own bars, and to have them be so generous as to let us be a part of that process, and then ship those barbells back home with us with our names engraved on the barbells is just a phenomenal gift. And I really can't thank those guys enough. So these guys are fantastic. And if you ever have the chance to head out to Halmstad, Sweden, check out the Eleiko facility. It's truly world class. So make it happen. If you have questions about anything Eleiko or anything related to Barbell Shrugged and our trip to Eleiko, feel free to hit us up on social media.